Pisces. What? Wait, let me put my volume up. Let me make sure y'all hear me. What the heck happened? How did you guys end up at the bottom of the list? Well, you're not all the way at the bottom. You're like second to the bottom. What is really going on? Did I count wrong? Goodness gracious. Every time I looked up, because you know, I be vibing off of y'all's energy because y'all make me feel all nice and energetic and things, and I just was looking for Pisces. Pisces was nowhere to be found. Pisces said, look for me, princess, look for me. But it's cool, you know? Y'all was chilling for Thanksgiving, spending time with your families and things, so I understand. But anywho, welcome to your December 2018 general reading. Your love readings are coming immediately after this, pending me being able to ride the wave of your energy into finishing these last couple of videos that I have to do. But anyway, I'm going to pick some cards from my surrender deck to look at what energies you guys want to embrace and or release in 2018, because we're preparing to go into 2019, which is the year of abundance. I say, dagnabbit son of a gun. So we're going to see what things need to be left behind and what things we need to embrace. It's also going to serve as an overall energy or focus for your general reading, and after that we're going to jump in. For those of you who have already cross-watched, you know that it's our birthday month. And your discount code is in the description box below. And on the 22nd of December, I'll be going live and giving away some of my decks and, you know, giving away free readings and things. And in the love readings, I'll have all of that stuff figured out on where you guys can go register. 9 times out of 10, you're going to be able to do it through the website. So I'll let you guys know in the community tab or in the love readings how to go about doing that. But anywho, enough of me talking. Let's jump into your reading. So Spirit, please give us clear and direct guidance for Pisces. What do they need to surrender in 2018? Whoa. Okay, that is too many cards. But every part of me wants to take them. First card that fell out is surrender unhealthy relationships. I'm trying to read backwards. Let go of relationships that don't serve you, including unavailable or toxic people. You deserve to be treasured by others and to be surrounded by positive people. Yes, you do, dagnabbit son of a gun. Next, in this whole stack of cards that you have that fell out, surrendering to setting limits. I'm going to learn how to read backwards one day, y'all. It is healthy to set boundaries in relationships. Practice expressing your needs and remember that no is a complete sentence. Someone else had that. I'm trying to scoosh up my chair. Why do I feel like I'm hitting something? Sorry. But anyway, someone else had this card and I suggested a really great book that I believe I have on my Amazon store. Learning to Say No. And the author's name is Clara Hills, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But it's a really good book about setting boundaries. Next, we have Surrender Negative Thinking. And it says, you have control over your thoughts. When negative thoughts surface, say thank you for sharing and quickly refocus on positive affirmations. That came up for someone else, too. Surrender your attachments to results. The formula for success is to do all that you can to make things happen. Then let go of the results. Holding on too tightly to a desired outcome can sabotage it. Next, we have surrender worry. What is going on, Pisces? Make a commitment not to lead an anxiety-driven life. When worries arise, breathe them out of your body. Focus on the power of your heart and have faith that Spirit is guiding you always. And next, we have surrender denial. Accept people and situations exactly as they are, without denying the difficulties. Then you can see things clearly and make the best decisions. It's very interesting. So, it's almost like I'm getting 2 different things here. And it's, what is it? It has to do with like power and control. It's almost like, okay, the energy that I pick up on is like of a person who, like, say in your romantic relationships or even like friendships or family situations, you have a tendency to be dominated by people that you care about, right? But in other situations, maybe friendships or maybe like work situations, you have a tendency to be dominating, right? Now, the source of that would be a person who feels like, if it's like a love relationship, feeling disempowered. Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be a love relationship. It could be anything. Like, it's being two different people in two different facets, because one being dominated in one facet of life leaves you feeling disempowered, right? And so therefore, in other facets of life, you end up becoming dominating as a means of getting the power back that you perceive to have lost from being dominated, right? So it's kind of like that scenario of, like, you think about the kid that, like, bullies kids at school, and it's because at home he's bullied by his parents type of deal. You know what I'm saying? It's like that energy. You know what I'm saying? So in other things, I feel like the desire to control, so say if it's a person who's either in a controlling family dynamic or a controlling relationship, or that's what your past was, of being dominated, now it's like this need to control everything, right? And it's like in your life, even yourself, you know, like in the sense that, like, say being overly organized, and we kind of discussed that like last month, of, you know, trying to map out your ascension process. So it's one of those things where it's like self-restriction. It's like restricting yourself. And what's the word I'm looking for? It's almost like I can't get the words out. It's like resigning yourself to this very restricted path, because this path ensures I'm safe, right? So if I only go this particular way to work every day and park in this particular space, and I grab my coffee with my left hand instead of my right, and it's like, when Jane's coming down the hall, don't step to the left, make sure you step to the right, because Jane is always going to spin around and want to say, you know, and it's like getting in this consistent routine. And the reason why this routine exists is because of like the fear of the X factors of life, or trying to prevent the X factors in life. So it's staying on this very thin line in order to protect oneself from upsets, right? So whether that integrates into, you know, your relationships, to where there's a lack thereof of setting boundaries. So it's like overdoing it with boundaries on yourself, but then not having any with someone else. And it's a need to create a balance between the two, right? And in the midst of all of this, it's refusing to see that the source of a lot of the unrest is all existing in here. You know what I'm saying? It's all existing in the mind. So it's not, you know, necessarily external confrontations or engagements with other people. Not saying that that doesn't play a role, but it's like a huge part is how one is perceiving their experience, right? So all in all, I would say a lot of that is rooted in living in fear. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's a fear, like a threefold fear, because it's a fear of the past. It's a fear of reliving the past. It's a fear of reliving the past and the future. And then the present is consumed with the fear of the past, and the fear of the past replaying itself in the future. So it's not being actually present of what is actually going on right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's just resigning oneself to this very narrow path in which one is trying to prevent their past from being recreated in their future. You know what I'm saying? And not really enjoying the present. So it's a lot of fear that's going on. And I think there's a sense of blindness to the denial. Like, the denial to me is not necessarily that you guys are in willful blindness. I think it has a great deal to do with you guys not being aware that this is going on. Like, not knowing that this is at the root of that pathology, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? It's like a mega defense mechanism in a sense. I hope that's making sense. Because it's a huge desire of being attached to a specific outcome, and the outcome is to not relive the past, if that makes sense. So, Spirit, please give us clear, indirect guidance for my Pisceans, please. Spit it. Anything they need to know, anything that they're grappling with, any challenges or confusion that they have, Spirit, I ask that that be revealed in this reading. Please help me offer my special little Pisceans. This is my Pisces mom that just texted me, by the way. It's like they can just sense it. Clear and direct guidance for my Pisceans, please, Spirit. Anything that they need to know, allow me to clarify that for them and offer them guidance in reference to any challenges that they are facing now and into 2019. And I thank you in advance. Spit it. I got y'all birthstone on deck and whatnot. I feel like I should name her, you know? I like my subbies to do things. Y'all name my my reading Amethyst. Like, what does she look like? Does she look like an Amy? Amy Amethyst? That's her backside. She don't have no booty. She got that booty do. Her stomach stick out more than her booty do. Maybe I should name her booty do. All right. Did I cut the deck? Yeah, I did. Y'all don't talk about me. All right. Central energy challenge. What's behind you, what's before you, what's above you, and what is below you, Pisces. So our central energy is the Queen of Pentacles. Are you the person that's on Aquarius's mind? I wonder. So, okay. This is good. I feel like, okay. First and foremost, a great deal of, like how I said, this all has to do with your past. Let me just say it that way since I've talked enough already. Let me just get straight to the point here. What you guys are grappling with now is the past, right? And more or less the message that I'm getting here is you're still identifying with this past person. And by past person, I mean yourself. It's like, almost as if, and I call it this with my clients, I say, like, whenever we experience trauma or we experience wounds in our life, it's almost as if from the moment we were traumatized, we put on these wounded glasses, and now we only see life through these wounds. And so it skews our perception on things, right? But I feel like in some way or another, something is kind of bringing this to the surface for you all, and I feel like you guys are kind of coming to terms with that. And it's coming from self-reflection. So it's like, it's kind of like you guys coming to this place where, all right, I'm looking at me. Let's see what's going on here. But if you don't see that, then this is what's going on. It's seeing that a lot of the issues and challenges that one faces presently is intricately related to trying to avoid pains that you experienced in the past, right? So if I trusted someone and this person broke my trust, it's like, instead of going to the middle ground of saying, you know, I'm going to set boundaries, it's like, I'm not trusting anyone type of deal. Or if I've gotten hurt in several love relationships, it's like, I'm just not dating anymore. So if I dated 2 narcissists, that's it, hanging it up, no more dating for me type of deal. So I think it's like starting to come to terms with things of that of the sort, right? This is challenged by the 9 of Swords. That's understandable. This is reminding me of what I was saying last month. It's kind of like, when I was joking with you guys about scheduling like your ascension, right? So it's like by January 1, I will be ascended, right? I think digging this deep into these things, and rightfully so, it kicks up a lot of dirt. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I always say that, like, literally, if you're one of my clients, you know this. As soon as you become my client, it's like a whole packet that you get, right? And it's like my statement of practice that tells you my therapeutic approach and about the counseling process, rules, regulations, ethics, all that good stuff, right? There's a section in there where I talk about what to expect for those who have never been to counseling or therapy before, right? And one of the things I say in there is that throughout the therapeutic process, you may find that there are times that things seem to get worse before they get better, because what we're doing is we're digging deeper into things that we've put like a cap on, a lock on, we've locked away and put away. So when you come into contact with, you know, a healer, counselor, whatever, anyone who becomes a catalyst in your life, it's like if everything in your life, like usually when we're wounded, everything in your life will be set up kind of how I described. It's like this very narrow path. When a person who's a catalyst comes along, we fit in to a place that's within your path, but right outside of it. So we're kind of messing up the flow, right? So there may be like a little vault you have over here that's locked, and us like leaning on it causes like things to start coming out, right? So if you think about like, you know, a water bottle, and if there's like, you know, something that's settled at the bottom of the water and you shake it up and it's like, you know, it all mixes up and whatnot. It's kind of like that. And I think that byproduct of touching on something that's painful or something that's traumatic is the reason why I think you guys have put a lot of blockades in to prevent you from going back to that place. Because it could be, you know, I experienced a breakup so bad that it brought me to the darkest place in my life, and I never want to experience that again. So it puts a block of you ever being in said situation so you don't experience that again. Understandable. That's how we survive. It's a survival skill, right? It's a coping type of mechanism, right? But I feel like as you guys are doing this self-reflection, and it's like you're starting to look at things and starting to connect the dots, it's rising all of these things up. Right? But the key is here is to not be overtaken, like to fall into things that we've always done. Like I'm seeing negative thinking and like worrying, you know, or attachments to results of like thinking, cause like I said something like last month about you guys saying like, oh yeah, I want to go through the dark night of the soul, but it's like I have to schedule my emotional breakdown because it's like I have a lot of stuff going on and I just really can't have an emotional breakdown right now. You know what I mean? And not to say that this is going to lead to you having one, but it's time to face it, you know? Because looking at the Queen of Pentacles along with the Queen of Wands, those are the two queens in the deck that are both fixated on the past. You know what I mean? So with this being in the center of your spread, it's letting me know that whatever it is you guys have been battling, if you've been looking in your present life, if you've been looking at fears of the future, the issue isn't there. The issue is back here. So whatever that is for you guys in your lives right now, the challenge is for you to finally battle the demon, you know, as opposed to lying in your bed, putting the covers over your head, being afraid, hoping and praying that it goes away. Now it's time to grab the sword and slay the demon. And the way that all proverbial demons are slayed is with truth. So this would elude me to believe we're talking about false core beliefs here. So there's things about yourself that you have begun to self-identify with. I'm not good enough, I'm unworthy, or I don't deserve love, I'm unlovable. Things of the sort, right? And those are things, because they're core beliefs, those are the things that are replicating in your external world. But now it's time to kind of face those things once and for all, to cut them out so that you can finally be free to live the life that you deserve. Your past influence, we have the 9 of Cups. And I feel this is desire. And then this is 2 nines that we have here. So this is a completion of a cycle. For some of you guys, I feel like, that's interesting. Got it. For some of you guys, something really good just happened. But that was the trigger. And I'm like, how could a good thing trigger it? But I get it. It's the fear of losing it. So it's one of those things where something could be, and I'm hearing it 2 different ways. So for some of you, it could be things are going so well. And I said this in somebody else's reading. Things are going so well, but in the past, you've always been disappointed. So now it's like waiting for the ball to drop. It's waiting for the bad thing. It's like, I always make it to the 9 of cups, but we don't ever see the 10 because something comes and takes it away. You know what I'm saying? Or like with the 9 of swords. It's like, I always get to that part right before I'm healed, but the 10 of swords don't ever come for me to completely end the cycle so we can, just start over with truth. You know what I'm saying? So there's something good for some of you who triggered this, and I heard a kid. So for some of you, it's finding out about having a baby, right? Whether that's you or the person that you're with, and then feeling like, oh, I'm going to be a parent. Holy crap, I need to get my stuff together. Or for others of you, it's like a job opportunity, and it's like, big girl, big boy kind of job. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh, snap, let me get my stuff together. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's more or less like with this opportunity is something that you wanted, something that you desired. And I feel like what pushed the inner work is so that you could be reflecting of this thing, whatever it is, whether it's a person, opportunity, or what have you, right? So it's a need to like want to do the work because you want to be better to align with the opportunity that you guys have, right? I'm also seeing that this is the beginning of the end, I guess. Because it's more or less like this little thing here, this is just like the first trickle of like an avalanche that's going to come in a good way. So it's like, this is good, but this pales in comparison to what it is that's coming. But this is like the first sign of it, right? So this may be the thing, like I said, that triggered you guys to do the work. But it's like, I feel almost as if on like maybe a subconscious level, you sense that something bigger is coming. And I can tell you now it is. Like, this is just like the first part of it. But the thing I'm telling you is that whatever this thing is in the past, right, is intricately related to you guys being at this step. So who I'm talking to, it would be that the theme of your life has been always almost being right there and then things not working. You know what I'm saying? And, it's like that song by Alanis Morissette, Ironic, traffic jam and you're already late, no smoking sign on your cigarette break. It's like 10,000 spoons when all you need is a knife. It's like meeting the man of your dreams and then meeting his beautiful wife, right? Like, that's the story of your life. You know what I'm saying? It's always like there, but not there. And the thing that I feel that the challenge is, this like proverbial demon is intricately related to your past and an experience that you had in your past. So the way that we can align with this is, if this has been the theme of your life, think back as far as you possibly can to like the very first time that you experienced this disappointment, right? Or like the most notable time that you really feel like this hurt you on a core level, where it was something where it was right within reach and then it was taken away from you. And it's a need to go back to that place and explore who you were prior to, how you saw life prior to this experience happening, and how that altered your perception of life. So when you put those wounded lenses on, how vastly different was the perception post than it was pre? You know what I'm saying? And it's a need to not necessarily align, but garner some wisdom from that perception, so to speak. You know what I mean? Because I don't know, it's all about perceptive to me. It's a big thing about being perceptive. It's a perception. And that's why I'm saying it's like it's a mind thing that's really blocking you guys here. Oh, well, hallelujah. In your below energy, we have the Ten of Swords. So it's going to be success with this. This is a cycle that's ending for you guys. So it's literally, this is like a roundabout. Your above energy is the King of Wands. Yes. You guys are going to gain dominion over this situation. For some of you, this may be a father figure that is somehow related to this. Oh, good Lord. That's creepy. Whew. Man. Okay, for those of you, like, if you have unresolved issues with your dad, especially if your dad is passed, it's almost as if, like, his energy is around you and is, like, fixated on you. So as if everything that you do every day, like, you sitting there eating your Cheerios in the morning and he's sitting across the table from you, like, you know what I'm saying? That's the vibe that I get. So if it's something that's related to, like, a father figure, it's time to deal with that now. It's time to face that. And whatever it is that, because I don't know if this was good, bad, whatever. They're not telling me all of that. But for those of you who had an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius dad, or if your dad was dark hair, dark skin, and dark skin in the sense of meaning like olive, like he's not fair complected. So olive skin or, brown skin. So it could be anyone from any nationality, Hispanic. It could even be Italian, but it's somebody who has like more of like a tanner skin tone with like darker kind of hair, Jesus. Choking me and things. But anyway, there's some truth that needs to be spoken about your emotions in relation to this particular connection, right? That's one of the things that need to be healed. With others of you, once you complete this cycle, the goal, the end goal is to live in the present. Because the thing that in the midst of this whole process that you guys have forgotten is your power exists in the present. Your power to change, your power to be another person, your power to create another life, all of that exists in the present moment. It doesn't exist in the past, nor does it exist in the future, because the future is only a byproduct of the present. That is why what you're doing today is 9 times out of 10 what you've been doing for days, months, years, and will 9 times out of 10 be the thing that you continue to do for the next few days, weeks, months, and years. Because it's what you do now that creates the next moment. So if you really want to manifest change in your life, it's done in the present. And it's a need to understand that, to drive that home and to exist in that space. Because the way that we create or cultivate self-fulfilling prophecies is in the fact that if we're living in the past, right? We're in the past energy in the present. The past energy is dead, right? Past can't be resurrected. So that's an energy that's slowing you down. It's an energy that creates stagnancy. So now if I've slowed down to the point that I'm stagnant, then what am I manifesting in this moment? Stagnation. What am I creating in the next moment? Because if this is the present, the next second is literally is the past now, and the next second it'll be the future. If I'm stagnant a second ago, I'm stagnant now. A second from now, I'm stagnant. That's how we carry that into the future. So the denial lies in the fact of not seeing this process. It's not seeing that the thing that you fear the most is being resurrected into the present because my mind is there and now I'm carrying this into the future. So it's like my past is following me everywhere I go. Everywhere I go. And it's all because I'm stuck there. So now it's time for you guys to face whatever it is. For those of you where it's like a father figure type of deal. For others of you, it's just the need to face the demon and to bring yourself back to center in the present moment and understanding the true meaning and the key to life. The two keys to life being that your power exists in the present and that the greatest power that all human beings possess that we often overlook is choice. You know what I'm saying? And when those two are used together, that's when our lives shift. Choice in the present moment, right? Now, what's before you is the Knight of Wands. So this could be an offer that's coming in. This could be a message that's coming in. I want to know what it is because I'm nosy. Oh, whoa! Oh. All the cards fell face down. This is the only one that fell face up. The door to romance. Well, God dog is son of a gun. For some of you guys, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you what this is here. So this is like energetic block, right? So for some of you, this is like a King of Wands person, right? Who's done his work and he is existent in the present, okay? But it's like you guys battling this demon and leaving this stuff in the past now leaves you energetically open for romance to rush in. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a little energetic block. But for some of you, I feel like you kind of know this person, though. I feel like this is someone that you know. Oh, that's interesting. Let me see. Oh, that's very interesting. So it's like doing work and getting love? I like that. Oh. And then the card number is 33. That's a dope number. Oh, wow. That's very interesting. Mature man. Y'all dating older dudes out there? There's no need for me to even do this, no. I'm just being nosy, yeah. Y'all reading is pretty much over. I mean, I gotta pick your oracle card, but Princess just being nosy. So yeah, dude, what it looks like, y'all are doing the last little bit of personal work. You know what I'm saying? Like things that have held you back. So no longer will you guys be, so this is the beginning of the end. No longer will you guys be stuck at 9. So it's like, these are almost the two energies that you were stuck, like, going between. It's wishes being fulfilled and, like, them being dashed. You know what I'm saying? And going back and forth here. But it's like now with you guys seeing the connection and seeing that I am the link between these two things and this is somehow related to whatever it is because Spirit isn't letting me get in y'all business on that. So my assumption is that this is something that's really serious, you know, and private. But whatever happened back here, whatever pain, it intricately related you guys reliving this feeling. Because whenever this trauma, really, Princess? Whenever this, I've been talking all day, y'all leave me alone. Whenever this traumatizing event happened, this is the state you were in your life. It's almost like, is that Shakespeare? It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. It's almost as if the worst of times thing happened at the best time in your life. And that created like this energy stamp to where it's constantly being relived in different circumstances. And the reason why that was happening is because it was unfinished business that needed to be resolved. You feel what I'm saying? I feel like I just taught y'all like my whole therapeutic approach just now. But anyway, but it's time for that to end. So I was saying that you guys never got to the 10. Now you're getting to the 10. So especially with this being in your below position, this lets me know that this is a cycle that's ending, because this was a subconscious process that you guys were like living out in so many ways. And funny thing about that is, I was on Google today, and you know, like when you go on Google, well, at least on your phone, and they have like those little newspaper articles and stuff like that you can read. There was an article about December 3rd and 4th. Oh my gosh. Wait. Pisces. I think y'all are about to fall in love for real. Bruh, wait. Okay. Y'all reading as long as hell, but guess what? This is important. I read this article today on Google. I think it was from one of those dating sites or something. Tango or something. So anyway, the chick who wrote the article was talking about December 3rd and 4th. And she was talking about Sagittarius and Pisces, right? And she was talking about like squares, which I know like squares in your chart are usually like difficulties, right? And she was saying like with relationships and like true love that it's cultivated through difficulties and growing over time and blah, 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 so on and so forth, right? So she was saying how Sagittarius and Pisces, like Sagittarius being like the philosopher and Pisces being the muse, and how the two of them together, are like the perfect match, and the fact that they learn from each other, inspire each other to grow, and like inspire each other's creativity and so on and so forth, whatever, right? And they were saying that the difficulties that everyone would face today, because it's something about the transits and it being in Scorpio as well as in Pisces. I don't know anything about astrology, y'all. But anyway, but they were saying because of this transit, within the next 2 days, people were going to have these massive epiphanies of like realizing that what you have always searched for when it comes to love was right in front of you. And I'm looking at this guy, right? Because you know how I said, like, the dad energy is just, like, sitting in front of you at the table? Like, it's like the love of your life is right freaking in front of your face. And he's like, yo, I'm here any day now, but I'm just waiting. But that's what's coming in super quick. So for all those people out there dating old dudes, or like old dudes, well, he's not old, he's mature. He could just be, a young guy that's very wise, which I would most certainly say, dagnabbit son of a gun. He's a little philosopher. Oh my goodness. That's what's up. And I'm gonna say, I would say for guys too, like if there's Pisces guys that are watching this, I would legit say that, ooh, he thinking about you, Buku Hard. Oh, snap. Oh, my God. Oh. Yo, I gotta stop. I'm being too nosy. At the bottom of the deck is the message. Huh? Is that shaped like a heart? It looks like one. There's a message that's coming. It's a message that's coming. This is a message card. It's a message. It's a message about the door to romance. I'm so freaking excited. I'm gonna stop. I'm going to say the same for Pisces dudes too, right? It's general reading. But oh my goodness. This is the freaking bomb. So that makes all of this make sense, man. Because it's like, one thing that I do know, because I told y'all about my homegirl that does astrology, and she was like telling me about the whole thing, like with the twin flame debacle and how these people usually have squares in their chart with something with Saturn and stuff. I don't know. Astrology is really hard, y'all. My brain capacity is like, I can't take no more knowledge. But anyway, so with this square and the square happening today, this totally makes sense of why you guys are wrapping this up, because this is like the wake up moment. You know what I'm saying? That opens the door for you to have the love of your life. Because the thing is, this person was always here. You know what I'm saying? But you just never noticed it because of being stuck in this cycle. So I guess what it is, it's like this person doesn't fit your atypical type. Man, it might be an Aquarius. That's dope. But the thing is that this person may not fit your atypical type, right? Like, they may be different than, like, what you would usually dig in a person. And I think a lot of that has to do with those wound lenses you guys were looking through that was attracting you to unhealthy relationships of people who reflected the pain that you've been through, because this was like a karmic cycle that needed to wrap up. So you kept attracting people who were allowing you to live out this wound. You know what I'm saying? To like finish the unfinished business. That's literally the whole, like, that's why I said I feel like I'm explaining my therapeutic approach to you guys. The whole premise of Gestalt therapy, if it's nothing else, it's all about unfinished business. And it's the fact that all human beings, the reason why we find ourselves stuck in life is because there's unfinished business that our subconscious is trying to resolve. And the whole reason why we're drawing people to us when we still have those wounds is to resolve that unresolved wound from the past. So until that light goes off and you learn whatever lesson that you needed to learn, you would continue to attract these people to you until you resolve whatever it is that you guys went through. And I think with this person was like in the peripheral of your vision. But the moment that you guys like end this and you see things clearly for what they are, it's like suddenly like you rub your eyes and you open and there they freaking are. This is so awesome. I just want to be invited to the wedding. And I tell all of y'all, just name the kids after me. Princess JR is fine. Just saying. Oh, I forgot to pull the last card for y'all. Do y'all even need an oracle with all of this? I'm so happy for y'all. This is what's hot in the streets right now. My goodness. And I mean, for those of you that it's not romance, this most certainly could be an opportunity that's coming. You know what I'm saying? An opportunity in relation to like a passion that you're very drawn by. You know what I mean? It's like getting the dream job or getting the opportunity to live out your dream in some way, shape, form, or fashion, or getting recognized for some talent that you have. But it's like, this is the beginning of something so beautiful, dude. Like how I said, this is like the first little trickle. Like, what comes after this is going to be like an avalanche. And for some of y'all, it's an avalanche of love and things and what's not, or whatever. We have the octopus. Practice shape-shifting by altering your physical appearance and mannerisms. You can totally do that. I find that to be quite healing. You know, I say sometimes I open up my closet and I say, who do I want to be today? You know, that's something I find to be quite therapeutic and something that helps, because a lot of times, like, we have to do something tangible that's symbolic of like an inner work. And it's like with you guys completing a major cycle like this, maybe it's time for a makeover. Change your hairstyle, change the way you dress, get a new wardrobe. You know what I'm saying? Go to Mac, let them beat your face. You know what I'm saying? Dudes, cut off your beard, grow your beard. I don't know if you should cut off your beard, because apparently right now chicks like beards, but whatever, you know? But it's like, I find that at times, like, if you've been feeling kind of down, you dress kind of down. So to represent who it is that you want to step into going into 2019, it's more or less creating a whole, ensemble, costume for that person, so you can align with that energy. Next, we have Blue Heron. And it says, make a stand for what you believe in and do what feels right in spite of any judgment or disapproval from others. This is really you guys aligning from your truth. I feel like this is going to be like a slingshot moment. Like, y'all about to come out this little healed wound in rare form. Like, people going to be like, who is that? Don't you worry. Roadrunner. Keep your sense of humor and don't take things so seriously. And you're right. This is like my life philosophy, okay? Never take life or yourself too seriously, man. That is intricately related to an attachment of results, Have a little bit of fun, be a little freeform. So it's like kind of you guys breaking this this restriction, like the thing that's kept you bound for so long. It's like you're about to be freed from that. And this sounds a lot like Aquarius. This sounds a great deal like Aquarius. Because they're going through the same thing. It's like about them busting out. You know what I'm saying? Them coming out their emperor energy and going into, you know, their little yin cycle and whatnot. But this is what's up, Pisces. Like, I can't say nothing else. This ain't even your love reading. This is just general. But I think the beautiful thing about that is, because I mean, it's so strange. Because that's what, I cannot talk. I just cannot talk right now. But the whole thing I say of like how other people teach me, like how my clients teach me, how you guys teach me, it's like this is literally something I deal with on a daily basis, but it's like just telling you guys story like has given me like a complete perspective about how like the concepts I talk about in the book, what my homegirl was telling me about with astrology and whatnot, with the little squares and things, and like what I read, where's my phone? What I read on in this article, you know? Like how all of these things are interlinked. Like that's just so gangster to me. And that's the thing that I guess the basis of my philosophy of life is just literally how everything is so interconnected. It's like I consider it recycled truth. It's the simple fact that like physics is saying the same thing that spirituality is saying, or the New Age movement is saying, that Christianity said, that psychology says, that sociology is saying, but just in vastly different ways. But it's like at its essence, everyone is telling the same freaking story. And to see that come together on my table, like just that whole conversation that I had like a few months back about the squares in the chart, and seeing that come together with like pathology, that is what the heck I live for. Like that is so freaking beautiful to me. I cannot even. I'm trying to see if I can find, so if you guys want to read that article, the person's name. Where is it? They're upgrading my membership? That's cool. Oh, I don't see it. I thought I emailed it to myself. I don't see it, guys. Well, if I find it, I'll put it in the description box below. But oh wait, here it is. I'm still gonna put the link below. But the girl's name is Kate Rose, and she's a life coach and like a spiritual astrologer. But the article is on Your Tango, but I'm gonna go ahead and stick the link below. So I love you faces, Pisces. I will see you guys sooner than later because your love readings are coming up. As if you needed a love reading. But anyway, see you guys later. Deuces.